Wall Street's secret weapon. That's right, guys. It is not me. A lot of people thought it was. Turns out it's XRP. Today, you're going to find out how XRP is integrating into the world of real world assets as people swim underneath my desk. But anyways, guys, we're going to be talking about XRP and RWA today. It's going to be epic. Let's get it.
What's good, bro? I just heard Bitcoin hit 100K a coin. Yeah, that's right. Crypto is popping again.
It's crypto season. This is our time.
Well, help me out, bro. I want to get in.
Check it. If you looking for what's cooking right, here's where the chef will be. Live stream with BitBoy X for the recipe. With bull market energy, the winners be showing up and fighting for your life, and watch the prices been blowing up. Watch them cook.
GM. It is Wednesday, January the 29th of the year 2025. It is 11:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as I come to you sometimes at this time. My name is The BitBoy. I am your humble host. Welcome to BitBoy X. Welcome to the BitBoy X Crypto Morning Show. That's right, guys, and welcome to everybody in the Bit Squad, the highest IQ investors in all of the interwebs. Make sure to smash that like button if you're high IQ. We hit that sound if you're low IQ. I did get in the mail, by the way, Jay James, recently. I did get my annual renewal, membership renewal from Mensa. What do you think? Should I continue to be one of the smartest people in the world?
Did you ever get your replacement card?
I have not gotten my card yet.
I think that you should use it as bait. You should, like, whatever. You should be like, hey, before I renew, how about my card?
Well, yeah, actually, you know what? I should do that. They really care about that $100 from every member. So it's amazing. Guys, speaking of $100 for every member, this doesn't have anything to do with bucks. I don't know why I said that. But what I do want to say is today's show is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to be talking about the XRP and Ondo partnership. We're going to be talking about what that means and what a time we picked for. That's right, guys. Your 2-week RWA specialist. Things are really going. And I got to tell you guys, the show today, the stuff we're going to be talking about, if you're an anti-XRP person, you're just going to want to not listen. You're just going to want to go away, because this today is a celebration of a lot of things. And when you understand what we're going to look at today with XRP and what it's doing and what I believe to be kind of the overall game plan, and guys, we couldn't have been more right. XRP Army, absolutely changing the world financial system. And Ondo, we're going to talk about how that is proof of that happening with XRP. We're going to be talking about DeFi stuff today with XRP. We're going to be talking about our new Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. So I guess Janet Yellen, did Janet Yellen already leave? She doing Yellen on her way out?
I hope so.
Altcoin Spotlight are going to be looking at an oldie but a goodie. MakerDAO. What is it? What does it have to do with RWAs? Why are we doing that this week? Very interesting, because I didn't even know it's tied into RWAs until I did the research. And man, it just, it was a coin that's been highly on my radar, and it's doing a lot of stuff, man. It's really came through the fire of the world of DeFi and has came out on the other side. It's definitely going to be one that's going to be here for a long time. In our drill bit segment today, continue our RWA themes. We will be talking about the role of RWAs, of blockchain in RWAs. And man, it is massive. We got some killer graphics for you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. It's the number one thing that you can do to help the channel. And if you don't want to help the channel, then that's what I gotta say. I'm just kidding. I love y'all. And even y'all that hate me. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to be looking at Ripple's big move today when we get to deep dive. Guys, we're not doing deep dive votes anymore. I'm taking away the deep dive votes. Just too many times we know it's going to win. And it actually creates like a lot of, extra work we have to do to prepare for two stories. And so we're going to do some other things with audience engagement. I want to know from you guys in the chat. I want to know from you guys in the chat over here. Is this today's chat I'm in? Or is that yesterday's?
Should be today's.
I think I'm in yesterday's.
That would be weird.
No, crypto.com is delisting in Europe.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay. The whole IMF versus BRICS thing is playing out. Absolutely, Jake. And we're going to talk more about that today as well. That's one thing we are going to be touching on. I think Ripple's foray into stablecoins is just very fascinating, because I'm telling you, it's starting to become, maybe a possibility that maybe real USD is going to be the stablecoin that everybody uses. What if it does become maybe the CBDC? I don't know. I'm not fleshing that out right now. I'm just throwing it out. Just think about it. But Ripple and Ondo Finance are bringing tokenized U.S. Treasuries to the XRP ledger or XRPL, making a major step into RWA or real-world asset adoption in DeFi. Why it matters, guys? I want you guys to think about this. Could this be XRP's key to Wall Street adoption and institutional finance? And I got to say, I think the answer might be yes. But I want to know from you guys in the chat, what do you guys want to vote on every day? What are some things you guys want to vote on in the chat? I want you guys to put that in there so we can check it out. Okay. To my Mrs. Cassie. Well, you know, she's gonna be here. She's working on legal stuff, guys. She's become a chain analysis expert and a nightmare of criminals. Blockchain is forever. So I had a lot of conversations with some agencies, is what I will say to people. Okay. High IQ quote of the day. Here we go. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And this is from your guy, my guy, everybody's favorite president on the $100 bill, Benjamin Franklin. Fact check. Benjamin Franklin was not a president. That's right, guys. Big bummer to a lot of you guys, but he's famous for quotes. He had what did he call them? He didn't call them proverbs. He called them proverbs, his little things he said. But anyways, guys, crypto adoption is all about education and tokenized RWAs to institutional policies. And this is important, guys. Those who learn first, profit first. Those who learn first, profit first. And as we get ready to move towards our BitBoy Bootcamp, well, I believe the official launch date is going to be not this Monday, but the official launch date for people to sign up is going to be the following Monday. I can say that pretty confidently. So we're excited about it. And, you know, that's what it's all about with the BitBoy Bootcamp, guys, is we're going to be taking subjects and we're going to be going deep and intense, more deep and more intense than anybody else can give you because of this principle right here. Those who learn first, earn first. Hallelujah. Okay. All right. Time for the morning crypto pump. Morning crypto pump. Just a morning pump. Actually, I call it now. You do a little morning pump? You get a morning pump?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Pump it in the morning, pump it in the evening. Okay. We're going to start by a little market watch going to CoinGecko. And here's the actual page here. Let's double check a refresh here. Take a look at the numbers. $3.587 trillion market cap, 24-hour volume, $120 billion. Very low, very low. Bitcoin dominance, it's a 50 number. ETH dominance, still a 10 number. You know, those are the things you need to pay attention to. Anything above 55, below 60, anything above 55, below 58, it's like, yeah, okay with Bitcoin dominance. You start getting below 55, okay, we start getting bullish for altcoins. ETH, that thing, it's on life support. And we're going to look at a chart a little bit later in the show. Ethereum, it may not be ready to run yet. It's a little troubling, a little concerning. But I do want to reiterate what I said yesterday. Man, I feel like this is institutional manipulation 100% with Ethereum. I don't love Ethereum, but the more I dig into the RWAs, the institutional stuff, and I see how big Ethereum still is to these people, and I see that the ETFs are here and they're trying to push people out now, there's going to be a moment, okay? Ethereum's going to have a moment. I don't know if it's in this bull run. It might not be, but it's going to have a moment. So I do want to say that. Okay. We are going to look at the... How do they get so far away from me? Okay. All right. Okay. Looking at Bitcoin coming in, $102,000. Boom, boom, boom. 7-day chart, or 7 days is down 2.4%. So, you know, kind of still in that sideways zone. And it looks like we had did we have a big dip here? Or was that, oh, that was from 2 days ago, I guess. No. Yes. The chart was not. That was actually 4 days I was looking at, not 7. And nobody knows what I'm talking about because they can't even see the side of the screen. It's okay. Okay. Guys, it's really time to start talking about Ethereum versus XRP. It really is. Like, is XRP going to catch Ethereum in this run? I think it's going to. I do believe it's going to, because I do think that at some point XRP is going to be between $6 and $8. That's going to put it where it needs to be in market cap. And, you know, I think it's probably going to have a big run, and that means Ethereum would probably be losing dominance and going down. So I definitely, you know what, I'm gonna push back. I'm not gonna say definitely. Actually, I'm gonna say it's a very, very, very good chance that we are going to see a tension between the two of them. That possibly XRP will get past Ethereum. It has passed it before, guys. This is not Bitcoin versus Ethereum, which Ethereum's never came close to passing Bitcoin. Okay, XRP went past Ethereum again in 2019, I believe it was, maybe 2018, somewhere in the bear market. I remember when it happened. I believe it might. I want to say it might have been January of 2019. Maybe that would be correct. But the point is, this very possibly going to happen. If it's not going to happen in this run, it's definitely going to happen in the next one. And I think even stronger possibility is this permanent swap between 2 and 3 from Ethereum to XRP. A permanent swap takes place in the transition in the bear market as XRP is going to hold up much better and maybe even continue to go upwards due to its use in the regular financial system. So, the real XRP army, where you at? I need to calm down, guys. Too excited about the show today. Do you know what this is a direct result of?
What?
I know every single thing on the show today. Every single thing. Every single thing. I'm in full command of the show today.
I love that.
I'm taking over. I am the commander of not only the XRP army, but also of the Big Boy Commandos. That's right. You want to be a Big Boy Commando? You're going to have to go through the Big Boy Boot Camp. You're going to start out as a recruit. If you want to come in, we're going to let you in. I don't know. We let you in. You become a cadet. You want to become a crypto commando. That's right. You got to go through the Big Boy Boot Camp. I'm so excited about it, guys. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am about this stuff. You guys are going to absolutely love it. Look, let's look at the biggest gainers of the day. Biggest gainers of the day here. We got Onyx coin. It is Onyx. With our trusty meme coin up 9.7%. It's still down very low. I thought it was a great buy around $2 and it's down $1.20. It is still going to run at some point. So, and I do think it's going to have a massive run. I think the further it gets pulled down, I think the higher it's going to shoot up. And I think it's probably going to peak right as Anthem's jaw hits the ground in this rematch. Only I know when it is. You guys don't know yet. So that's I don't know. Maybe that'll be the peak for it. I don't know. We'll see. Guys, let's check out this comment from our guy, Doom User. If XRP doesn't pass ETH this run, it will on the next run. Smart money news to get this run on ETH. Yeah, I agree completely. I do think it is going to pass it. What were some things that they mentioned? Did they mention anything they wanted to vote on? What do y'all want to vote on in the show? Let's see. I'm looking back up through here.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, we can go look at it later. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right, guys. Why is my thing's not moving here? Oh, man. I'm stuck. Oh, man. How did this happen? It got clicked. It's on the other screen or something. I don't know what to do at this point with this thing. It's okay. Okay, hold on. Now I can go back. Okay, I fixed it. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, boom. XCN, check out the past month. Okay, XCN. I will look at that. That's not a show if it comes from Cameron. So, other than Christine Lagarde and Larry Fink, who else should we listen to at Davos meeting? Well, Davos is already over. Came and went, didn't it?
As far as I'm concerned,
I think. Look. I do not have my. Oh, I do.
It was January 20th to the 24th.
Yeah, it already happened. And I, it's very interesting. We've told you about this swap of global power between Mr. X and the both children family, how now Mr. X is on top and will remain so. And the thing is, I told you guys this, but you see it tangibly in real life, guys. You see this happen. Like when over the last 4 years that they had the World Economic Forum Summit in Davos in January, that we're not talking about it. Nothing. You want to know the biggest thing that came out of it? The biggest thing that came out of Davos this year? Donald Trump's comments when he called in. Okay? I want you to think about that. Think about the news coverage of it. And I will also, just to follow up on a little bit of Mr. X stuff, I would say that think about, I lost my train of thought. I saw something from one of my lawyers.
Like Davos.
Yeah.
What's coming out of Davos? Mr. X.
Yeah. Man, it was something. Oh, we were talking about Centrifuge yesterday. And remember I told you guys, I said, hey, he told me it was a Coinbase Ventures project. He said, it's not going to be, it's going to be like a tier 2, Well, that's what he told me originally when people were asking about it, because they showed the logo. When I was like, hey, people were talking about this logo. What do you think? But I had forgotten that he had told me, maybe, I don't know, I have to go back and look, maybe like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, he had told me the same way he told me to watch out for the new way that the digital currency group that and Grayscale and Genesis and Gemini, whatever, not Gemini, but their operations are going to change, and they're actually going to become a little more in the know, and stuff they talk about is going to be more significant and more important, and they're going to have more credibility behind what they say going forward in the future. He also said the same thing about several other different situations and organizations. I lost my train of thought again. Dang, I was doing so good at looking at that. What was I looking at on my phone? What was I trying to pull up? I was trying to pull up something from Mr. X. That's what I was trying to do. That's right. Let me just do one thing at a time, because that is something that I could do a little bit better at.
It's either about Davos, centrifuge.
No, I know what this is about. Let me just start with this, and maybe I'll move back to that. I want to see what he said about, I asked him about centrifuge, and he's told me something, and he was dead correct. He did tell me this. He said about the Coinbase Ventures backed tokens. Okay. I mentioned to you some time ago to keep an eye on the activity of Coinbase to perhaps change in the future. I also mentioned that when the senior takes someone down, he generally takes over their assets eventually. So does that mean that tier 2 assets become tier 1 assets? No, but will some? Yes. So that opens up the door for some of these coins that we've looked at before and said, these may be tier 2. Now maybe they're tier 1. But one of my main points I was getting back to, though, was just look at the world transition of power here. Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Have you not seen that we told you this was coming? We talked about it for a year, and now this transition has occurred, and now Elon and Trump are running things, right? Like, nobody saw this coming. We told you it was coming the whole time. And we told you that even if Trump didn't win, this was still coming. It was inevitable, because the change of global power is taking place. And if you want to know really what happens in the world financial system, and you want to get an AMA directly from Mr. X, then you're going to want to take our Global Financial Conspiracy BitBoy Bootcamp. It's going to be a special course designed for people to actually figure out what's real in the world economy and what's fake, because it's very important if you're going to understand it. What I've learned is, as much as I know about crypto, man, I need some base knowledge about different areas of economics and the realities of those areas in order to really be able to, speak about these things intelligently. So anyways, back to this, guys, there wasn't really any movement on the markets positively outside of this Onyx coin. So let's move on to our altcoin spotlight. So we're going to do our altcoin spotlight today on MakerDAO. Now, you may say, why are we covering MakerDAO when we're talking about RWAs? You may not know. You may be an old crypto head, and you're just used to MakerDAO being used for kind of, swapping some transactions, maybe getting some weed, maybe doing some DAI, collateralization. Maybe that's what you know, okay? But they have really come into the 21st century, if you will, when it comes to the world of RWAs. And we're going to talk about their transition. Now, the most core thing you need to understand about Maker MKR is it really is kind of a twofold coin project. It's not like XRP and real USD, really. It doesn't have that kind of relationship, but it is a pegged asset to Ethereum. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I understand exactly how they back that up. I don't think it's actually that complicated, but it's not a one-to-one. So you don't go to the price of Makers, you can see is 11.21 at the time of this graphic this morning, but that doesn't mean, is that correct? Was that the right one?
That's
Could we correct? I know we corrected it on the cards, but I think it's right. I think that's right. So look at the market cap. Is it about $1 billion?
1 billion. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect then. Maybe that's what they always keep it at. Maybe they always keep it there or something. I don't know. But anyways, the point is, it is a decentralized collateralization in a sense. It is a stable coin based on a decentralized product. Now, Maker is not the stable coin. The stable coin, because a stable coin's got to be stable. A stable coin is called DAI. So we also have a graphic here for DAI to show you guys this. It's the second. Yep. Nope, it's the other one. It's this one. Yep, sorry. Okay. So DAI, you can see the price is $1. Well, the price is always going to be $1. And you see it's got a max supply. It doesn't matter. It's however much there's supposed to be, that's how many there's going to be. So DAI is soft pegged to the US dollar and collateralized by crypto in smart contract vaults. It's the largest algorithmic or decentralized stablecoin on the market. Algorithmic is the word I was looking for. DAI's supply is unlimited and adjusts based on collateral and vaults, with 940 million in circulation as of November of 2020. So that was a while back. Now, if we go back and we look at Maker, now Maker is kind of the project behind DAI. Okay, so the let me read kind of the stuff we have on that. It issued the world's largest decentralized stablecoin. It's multi-chain expansion, or it has multi-chain expansion, including Arbitrum and Optimism and CKY Sync. These are all, Ethereum-based layer 2s. Maker tokens are burned, causing deflation. So to understand burning mechanisms with algorithmic tokens, because the truth is algorithmic stablecoins, that is the class of these stablecoins that I was kind of referring to earlier. It's an interesting way that they're backed. The basic understanding of it is there's a supply of these coins, and by burning or generating or issuing new tokens, by burning old tokens or issuing new tokens, they can play this balancing act and keep the supply at such that it makes the price of the stablecoin $1. And I know that's kind of complicated, more than a lot of you guys care to know, but that's kind of how it works. And so what in the world does this have to do with RWAs? Well, I'm glad that you asked. I'm glad you asked. Let me see. Let me make sure I got my coins in the right order here, or my cards. This is my fault. They were all in the right order, and I messed it up. It's all me. Okay. Great job on the cards today. They're really fantastic. Okay. What it does, MakerDAO is a decentralized autonomous organization behind DAI, a decentralized stablecoin that maintains a soft peg to the US dollar. Now, what is the key offering? The key offering is enabling users to generate DAI. And there's all kinds of different things that spin out of this from like in the world of decentralized finance. And this is what you guys have to understand. If you're newer, if you came into crypto after 2020 or so, then, I don't know how much you know about Maker, but yet you probably know all about DeFi. That was the summer of DeFi in 2020. And there's so much decentralized finance stuff going on everywhere. And you had all these new projects that popped up. And you had Compound and Yearn Finance. You had Curve. You had Sushi. I cannot remember what the other biggest one was. It was not Aave, but Maker was number one. Maker was the biggest one. And then Compound popped up out of nowhere and like 10x. Compound like 10x, like the first couple of days it was around. And that's really, if I'm being honest, that's what I believe kind of kicked off the DeFi summer. And it was just really, really interesting to watch. But yet all of those other projects have kind of came and gone. People do people even know what Compound is anymore? I don't know. Are people using it? I wanted to see real quick, if I go to CoinGecko, I wanted to click on DeFi here. And I wanted to see if I could remember what the other project was. I just cannot. It's driving me crazy that I cannot remember what it was. Let's see what they say DeFi coins are these days. Okay. Yeah, Hyperliquid. It was definitely, well, it might be one of these actually. Aave, Jupiter Injective, Lido, Maker, Curve. It wasn't Reserve Rights. There's Compound. So there's Compound all the way down there. What is DeepBook? Do you know what DeepBook is? Be careful anything related to that DeepSeek. Remember we talked about yesterday, a lot of that stuff is scams. I can't remember what the other one was, man. There were 3 big ones, and I cannot remember. And I don't think it's on here, man. It might not even be. Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was Yearn Finance. Was it Yearn? Some people are saying it was Yearn. It was not Synthetics. It was not Balancer. Thank you for saying all these options, by the way. It was not Yearn. It was not Ren. Definitely. People are still using Ren to hide money. Oh, DeepBook is Sui. That's right. Thank you for that. Oh man, my girlfriend would kill me. I'm in big trouble now. Okay, so anyways, Maker has really come to the new age of RWAs, and they're taking advantage of things like filling their treasury to back all their assets with things like US Treasuries, like bonds and notes and things that we talked about yesterday. And what you'll find is that a lot of these DeFi or a lot of these projects in RWAs, they're kind of grouping and kind of doing a lot of similar things. But overall, like the world of these treasuries and the US government now being involved in crypto, man, it's everywhere. It's everything. It's all that is happening in the world of institutional investing. Is people positioning around that right now. And it's just very fascinating to see that Maker was far enough ahead. They've got a lot of their supply kind of backed by RWAs. So MakerDAO pioneered the decentralized stablecoin model. They did the first one, algorithmic. They're still the only one, I think, that does it okay, that does it well, in my opinion. And there's a lot of news that's been coming out about it recently. And they have a $1 billion RWA tokenization program where they invited teams to come tokenize assets from all kinds of different, organizations to put inside of the ecosystem. I thought this was interesting. They removed all of their vaults that contained WBTC, which is wrapped Bitcoin. It's the Ethereum synthetic version of or whatever chain.
That's the stuff that Trump bought like $47 million worth of, right?
Yeah.
The wrapped Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yes.
They removed it from all their vaults for security reasons.
Wow.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And of course, they're doing a new governance overhaul. And if you go to their website and you see they're doing like a lot of stuff about governance. So, why does it matter here? What matters is Maker's showing you they continue to innovate. They continue to stay ahead of the curve. No pun intended. And you might have seen Compound was ranked above it. This is a stable coin in a project. This is not kind of the same kind of investment arm that a lot of, it doesn't have all the same bells and whistles a lot of these other DeFi protocols have. But it's still staying relevant. And on one hand, I want to say, man, I don't want to say on one hand. What I want to say is, what a beautiful job of hedging here by MakerDAO. What a beautiful job of hedging. They're now hedged by the treasuries that they own backing them, in a sense. They're hedged because the things they're getting into are more stable than their own stablecoin and its assets that are backing it. Okay. And you're watching a move from a lot of different entities into these government kind of stablecoins, because that's in a sense what these are. And so I just think it's very, very fascinating that they are continuing to innovate and be at the forefront of DeFi and RWAs, all things notwithstanding. And it showed me, this company is going to definitely still find a way to be around. Is it something I'm going to invest in? No, probably not. I'm probably not going to invest in Maker. If I'm picking RWAs, is not as sexy as some other ones, for sure. But is it a consistent company? Do you feel good about having your money backed by, their stablecoin backed? Yeah, I think you can. I think. Okay, don't ever hold me to that stuff. But what Maker is doing right now is what they're calling their in-game plan. And so this is what you need to think about. They're telling you what the future of this coin is. And it's very interesting. They're transitioning into in-game. It's a roadmap to decentralize governance further. That's why they're doing the governance stuff on the website. Optimize collateral and introduce AI-powered automation. And to me, what it looks like is that people that are close to the development of this, or, in the area of being able to make decisions, foundations, I don't know, these people are starting to say, all right, let's just let this thing run. All right, we're out. Because why? Why keep doing it? You have to have whys for you're continuing to put so much attention into something, and something that's like a stable coin and collateralization. It's supposed to be DeFi. Like, man, if you could get it to where that thing just runs itself and you don't pay any attention to it, and you don't have to put any effort into development with it, it is what it is. And I think that there's a lot of power in that. I don't think there's no reason for it to become anything more than that. That these projects should have end games because they're decentralized. There's not the same financial incentive for people to continue to work on these years and years and years down the road, in a sense. So they are now holding U.S. Treasuries, bridging DeFi and traditional finance. And man, that is just what we're seeing. We are seeing the integration of institutions, DeFi, RWAs, in ways that we just never really thought that we were going to see. And it really is incredible to watch. So let's move on to our next segment. Of course, our next segment is Signals and Setups, sponsored by. Wait, I can't even say anything right now.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, they can hear me?
Mhm.
Oh, shh. Did they hear that I said?
You could ask them.
Did you guys hear that? Guys, this is the Signals and Setups segment of the show. And of course, it is sponsored by zenledger.io. If you're someone who needs to do crypto taxes because you did crypto trading and you don't want to hide from the government for the rest of your life, make sure to hit up zenledger.io. Okay. All right. 10% off, by the way, guys. 10%. This is serious. Can I be serious? You guys, you need to do your crypto taxes for real. And the thing is right now is like the number one time that people are getting in position, and you don't want to be at the last minute. So go check out zenledger.io and use the code BitBoy10. That's BitBoy10. And if I don't say it moving my hands, it doesn't count at checkout. You can get a discount. They'll talk to you about anything. You ask them, you got questions? Go ask them. All right, we're going to start with looking at the Maker chart here. Don't pull this up for a second because I got to get the other one up here. Let's see. Let's check this out. This is the market? Does the market cap matter? Yeah, it does matter. Let me get the. I want to get to the regular one. Here we go. Binance. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay. All right. So this is a 4-hour chart. Looking at Maker. Is this a coin you want to invest in? And that really, when we do altcoin spotlight and we look at these coins, I guess really that's my takeaway at the end of these really should be, or your takeaway should be, you should have an opinion on whether or not you think this coin is interesting enough for you to consider it for investment, you know? And that doesn't mean a serious consideration. That just means you put it on your list to maybe look at it at some point. And so you asked me, is this one that I would put on my list to research for investment? And I would tell you right off the rip, no, I don't think so. We're going to look at the chart. No, I don't think so. However, does that mean that this is a coin you don't want to pay attention to? No, I just told you do want to pay attention. And what we're going to really be doing a lot of, we may do some of this stuff in the BitBoy Bootcamp as well, is some advanced RWAs, like actually looking at what does it actually look like to tokenize something? Like maybe I can tokenize my smile. How much would that be worth to you guys? Please put it in the comments. Thank you. But in all seriousness, like I want to actually like start doing. I'm gonna buy some actual. I'm gonna buy some T-bills. I'm gonna go buy some Treasury bills, and I guess it's USTreasury.gov or whatever it is, and gonna actually do it. We're gonna actually start using some of these platforms, because one thing I've really come to understand about learning about institutional products that I haven't touched or don't know about is that it's visualizing the process of what's actually happening in the trade. Like if you can see the order book and see what's being traded, it would kind of make sense to me anyways. So I think that is something that we can do. So where are we at on the Pi cycle top indicator? We'll look at that after we look at the Maker chart here. Okay, so we're looking at the Maker chart. And it'll only go back. This is a 4-hour. Let's pull up the daily actually on this. And I mean, kind of compare it to Ethereum. I mean, in the last run, it went all the way up to $6,200. MKR did. And it went up to 4,000. And Ethereum got a little bit got closer to its all-time high, I guess, than Maker did, which is interesting. But you can see it's clearly in a downtrend right now. And, you know, we've got to be asking ourselves a question like we were asking ourselves yesterday with the coin we looked at yesterday. Do we think this bull run is over? Like, if this bull run is over, then we would look back and we would say, oh, man, it was so obvious. How do we not see it? How did everybody not see it was over? That's what they'll say. But obviously, I don't think it's probably going to look like this. And I think it's probably going to look like another breakout above. And when it gets above, it's going to rip. And it'd be very interesting if you're looking to do some kind of analysis at home on some things. looking at this here, looking at this spike where it did go above that channel or above that trend, excuse me, I would go and try to find some other coins and map out the same time frame and look and see how many of them got close to a breakout. Like, was this just a completely failed breakout for this coin, or how many coins had one that matched something very similar? And you can kind of build and look and see how all of the altcoins could be shooting up at one time if you kind of see that prescribes over a larger amount of people and traders. Would you consider a war room community like war room like community with you and Mr. X? I don't think Mr. X is interested in doing stuff like that, but I don't know, maybe he is. Is there any reason for institutions to buy lots of ETH like BlackRock and Trump are without belief that it will pump or a plan to start the pump? Yes, there is reason for them to buy, even if they don't think it's going to pump per se. They certainly aren't going to buy it if they think it's going to go down forever, right? There will be an opportunity for people to get out if they want to get out at some point. But I think what it really boils down to is that with Ethereum, when it really does, kind of start to run, there's going to be a lot of other uses for it. You're seeing all this DeFi stuff built for the institutions. Like, okay, I have not said this. I've been wanting to say this the entire show, and I have not actually got to this point, okay? XRP is Uniswap for institutions, okay? I want you guys to hear me on this. And you may not care about Uniswap, okay? Uniswap was the only thing in crypto forever, seemingly, for decentralized exchanges. You had Balancer in one inch that popped up. Uniswap created the game. Okay, they may not have been first. They created the game.
Ether Delta, was it Ether Delta?
Yes, it was Ether Delta, and I do remember using Ether Delta back in 2017, and it made me want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah,
and
it was terrible.
Crypto bridges weren't even really a thing yet, so it would have had to been a real one. So, anyways, the point is that that's what the XRPL is. That's why we're going to look at this insane amount of volume that's on their decentralized exchange in just a minute. Institutional Uniswap. That is what our XRP has become. And that's why real USD was so important for them to issue. And now with Ondo, you've got Wall Street coming in to play on Uniswap. That's essentially what is happening. And why am I saying all that? Because there are times when you needed Ethereum on Uniswap when you weren't planning on buying or selling it, right? You were swapping it. You needed it for liquidity, right? So all the pools on Uniswap have Ethereum. They're all Ethereum backed liquidity, right? You have to have that. So there might be some institutional stuff going on with Ethereum where they may need some, and it doesn't necessarily matter. But they know at the same time that because this is their institutional sandbox, that they're going to keep the prices where they need to be. And here's what I will say, okay? Global liquidity. What is it? What does it mean? We've been talking about it a lot this week. We mentioned it. And, I really wanted to be able to put into words for you guys the best way to think of this liquidity problem in the world and why they want all the money in one pool, okay? And then think about this. Ethereum is the pool that they've chosen to play in, okay? What is the number one thing, the number one reason institutions want liquidity and a lot of it? Does anybody know? I want to see in the chat if any of you guys know. Is Vine an X integration, FUD, or FOMO? I don't know anything about that Vine stuff. I saw there was a Vine coin. I don't know if it's related. I didn't even know this was a thing people were talking about.
So the co-founder of Vine actually did launch that coin. It would make sense if they integrate that because I know Elon wants to make the platform.
I never really liked Vine myself. Cassie loved it. She loves it.
I was not a Vine guy.
Yeah. What's your price targets for Ondo this year? You were the first one that got me into it at 50 cents. Let's go. That's right. We got everybody into it early. If you listen and watch the channel, we're going to get people in earlier stuff than that, even down the road. If you guys just stay. But I can't tell you what it is because you're a little too early right now. Okay. Cross-border payments, lending. Sorry, I'm reading that there. But I don't want to give a price prediction, but I do believe that the market cap can get to $100 billion. I've said it. I think it can. It could get higher, but I think it can't get to 100 billion. So you can do the math on that. I think the math's pretty clean on it, but I digress. Okay, let's see. Aave for lending, control over liquidity, unlocks capital. And this is good. And this is good. Well, someone said to use other persons or to use peons as exit liquidity. And in a sense, that is correct, but not the way that you think it is. Okay. And everyone has missed it. No one has said it in here. And that's very important. Okay. It's very important because I'm trying to demonstrate to you guys that even these principles that are very basic in institutional investing, you don't understand. And I know it's an issue, but I had to dig deep to find out why. Why do they want more people in the pool? More people in the pool. There's one reason only. I'm trying to make sure nobody said it. The more money that is in a pool, the more stable the price is when you make a trade. That's it. They want to make sure that when they're trading something for something, and this is why it's so backwards to us in crypto. When they're trading something for something, they want to make sure that there is not going to be price fluctuation or value fluctuation within that transaction. That's why. And when you're looking at the kind of deals and the small percentages of gains, but the massive amounts of dollars that these institutions do back and forth, it kind of starts to make a little sense. And you say, man, it's almost like the more inflation runs, the more money that gets printed around the world, the more liquidity they need. But at some point, where are they going to get it from? Where? And that's when the system collapses. The entire system collapses. And unfortunately, with the way that our government has ran the fiat printing system, and all governments around the world have been complicit in, it hasn't set us up very good. We are most likely going to see that in our lifetimes, I would say almost certainly if you're my age. If you're in your 80s, 90s, I don't know, maybe if you make it a few more years, you might be able to make it another 50 or 60. That's what I'm going to tell all my elderly friends. All my elderly friends. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So there we go. So we look at Maker. We talked about that. I'm just so excited about the XRP stuff that I just maybe said too much. Okay. I didn't say too much, actually. Let's look at Ethereum very quickly. I want to show you guys this. We're going to look at Ethereum on the daily here. If you guys want to trade, you guys check out our Phemex link. Don't forget. We will have some other partners in the next, upcoming months. Our deal with Phemex on being exclusive with them, our 1-year deal with them ends this week. And we are continuing to do we will work with them still as a partner. And, you guys we'll still trade there and things like that. We love Phemex, we do videos, but we will have some other places for you guys to sign up. If you guys, some places that maybe don't, a little easier with KYC or whatever it is. But, Phemex is a good reputable exchange and we love them a lot. And I've really enjoyed them being a partner for the last year. Okay. So looking at the Ethereum candle here. So basically yesterday, the daily candle for Ethereum, let's stretch this out. Let's get into the weeds here a little bit. Oh, man, that's not what I want to do. It's like they have different rules for different indicators or different tools. Like, what the heck? How did that happen? Is it because I double clicked? But I one click and nothing happens. Double click and there it goes. And it does not paintbrush that time. Who can figure this stuff out? Okay. All right. Let's get this candle look-ski. Okay. So, and then we're going to pull up our EMAs here. Do we have EMAs over here somewhere? Okay. All right. So yesterday we closed the 200-day EMA below. Where was the number at? Let's see where it was. I lost my train of thought here. Around basically under 3140. 3140 is basically the number that it's now plunged below. That is now going to make it have to flip this back into support. And we can tell now, by looking at the price right now is coming in at 3120. We're still fighting right there at that point, at that 3140 point. We've not gotten above it. So if you're looking to trade Ethereum, if it gets above that, hey, it could be a breakout. But the point is if it continues to close below this line here, below this blue line, it's going to be a little bit harder to get out of that. So these are some more of the reasons, along with some other things that I've read. Some people saying it may take Ethereum a little longer. So it doesn't surprise me. It went below the 200-day EMA, but that's big. Like the 200-day EMA is kind of, people don't really use bigger ones than that out unless you use the 314-day, which that's what we'll look at to close this section. We'll look at the Pi cycle top like my guy wanted to. And we'll look at the other charts another time. We're a little behind today, I think. Are we behind?
I wouldn't necessarily think so.
Okay.
We're right. We're always right on time, man. We're right where we should be.
That's right.
We're
I
right
know,
where
guys.
we should be right now.
I know. Okay, so which one do we want to show? Which is the one that they always used to show? I don't think it's any of these ones. Man, this poor guy. That poor guy who had that one website doesn't do so well anymore. It used to come up near the top for this. Okay, Pi cycle top indicator. This is a look at it. This is a logarithmic chart, which is why the numbers look a little funky. This would be, let's see here. Let's see here. I need to make this a little bit smaller, I think. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so looking here, you have, it's the 350-day. I guess it's not the 314. It's the 350-day and the SMA 111, because when you divide 111 by 350, you get 3.14. So, or whatever pi is, I guess, would be what it is. Now, when you look back at these charts and you look back at the years and you say, okay, this goes all the way back to 2012, and you can watch that whenever these things cross, it means the end of a chapter of the market, basically. So it did not cross until 2013, until right before the second leg of the bull run. It went up, and when it crossed again, this was the end of the market. It goes up, it crosses right as we get into the fall of 2017, and man, that was so bullish. And I guess, no, wait, hold on, time out. No, it actually crossed twice, actually, is what it did. You can actually see it actually did not cross into kind of bullish territory during that entire run. It didn't cross until the very top of the market, and then it crossed twice in a very short period of time, and that was the end of the bull run. It did not in the 2019 fake pump. It did not cross. And then you go to the next time it crossed would have been at the end of the first run of the 2021 bull run. So it ends, April is the top of that thing. May, it comes shooting down. That's when it crossed. And yes, we did make another all-time high, but we didn't even close a daily candle above it, I don't believe. I think we only wicked above it, which is not, of course, we're going to count it as the all-time high because it's the highest number of Bitcoin we'd ever seen at the time. But it really was kind of a gigantic dead cat bounce, really, if you think about it. So right now, it does not look like we are anywhere close to crossing, and that's good. That's what we want. It is, you can see it is moving up towards, and when you look at this really, to me, kind of, really, oh, man, God. Man, I really botched this up here now.
There you go.
No, I botched it up real bad. I figured out what I needed to do, though. Which is this. Double click. Okay. So looking here, it really kind of shows you, and we could also look at the Newpool. The Newpool is another chart we can look at kind of like this that shows these big marks in cryptocurrency history where things go the other way, or at least, a symbol that's going to happen. Well, when you look here and you look at how close the blue line, the 100 or the that's the 111 day goes, how close it gets to the 350 day, you can see there that it's starting to inch up towards that. And then what happens? Now we've had a big breath of fresh air. And now, even though the price point is not that much different than when we were over here, now the spread is much wider, which is good. It gives us much more room for this bull run. And these are the reasons why I've been telling you that Mr. X has been saying, watch for these 8s. watch 108,000, 118,000, 128,000. Watch for these numbers. They're critical. And every time we pierce one of these, I believe we're going to see one of these pullbacks. So in my opinion, that means we've got to hit one pretty soon. We've got to hit one pretty soon to have enough room to have these pullbacks and be able to go all the way up to $140,000. So very interesting stuff. Okay, guys. It is time for the deep dive. Deep dive! Deep dive. Guys, smash the likes if you like it deep. If you like it deep, smash the likes because, man, we're going to get deep in some XRP. We're going to get all up in your Ondo. Okay? All up in your Ondo. Here we go. Deep dive. Ripple teams up with Ondo to bring U.S. Treasuries on chain. All right, let's head on over to the old newworldfinance.io. You guys can find a lot of great content here that's real, that's not fake. Ripple partners with Ondo Finance to tokenize U.S. Treasuries on XRPL. Ripple Labs has announced a groundbreaking partnership with Ondo Finance to tokenize U.S. Treasuries on the XRPL, marking a significant leap in blockchain-driven financial solutions. And I know that people did mention this yesterday on the show. I had not read this story yet. And so definitely want to talk about this today. This is massive for XRP, man. We were so right. We were so right. We were so right. Man, we were so right. Doesn't it feel good?
Hell yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to be in the XRP army? Doesn't it? We were right. And they were wrong. And there's nothing I love better than that. And I can't wait until, oh man, it's going to be so epic. So epic. It won't be long now. We're talking about the bull run, of course. Ripple is expanding into RWA tokenization, and people have been saying it, and they've been talking about it for a while. We've talked about it on the channel, but people didn't really grasp why yet. Why? Well, now they're working with Ondo Finance, and we've already looked at this week at how massive it is, and they're going to be integrating U.S. Treasuries, tokenized U.S. Treasuries on the XRPL, on the ledger, the distributed ledger of the XRP network, the Ripple network. Anyways, the move integrates traditional finance with crypto and boosts XRP ledger's utility in DeFi. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and skip forward a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this newsfeed story because it has so much to do with this. Guys, XRP ledger, the XRPL, I only call it XRPL. So XRPL, their DEX, their decentralized exchange, has surpassed $400 million in monthly volume amidst XRP ETF speculation. That's right, guys. Not only is now Ondo coming in and saying, hey, XRP, welcome to Wall Street. Not only that, but now we're also saying, hey, we'll you know, we got these coins, we got all these stable coins for you guys. We got a lot of good stuff over here. We got RippleNet, got ODL. You need liquidity? We got liquidity. Hey, we're gonna need approval on that ETF. XRP, let's go. There's some days you want to wear it, you know, some days. There we go. Some days you want to wear it, okay? We're in the, what does that say on the side?
XRP Army.
That's right. Bet your mother chucking dollar it is, you know? That's right. XRP Army. We roll in the helmet because why do we wear helmets? People say, why does the XRP Army wear helmets?
In case you bump your head.
They say, oh, is this because, I don't know, maybe you have some kind of mental disorder, you need it? No. We wear helmets to watch out for all the fallen money when the XRP is raining on our heads. That's what it is, y'all. Okay? Somebody get your umbrella. Somebody call Rihanna. Get your umbrella. That was too much. I'm sorry. I really went. Is the helmet, guys. The helmet puts me into character, okay? How can you not do that? How can I not want to do that? After years of people mocking me. And here we are. We were the ones that were more right than anybody else by a zillion miles, and we continue to be, because we are the Bit Squad. We are the highest IQ investors in all the interwebs. This is potentially, by the way, what we're looking at. Not only are we looking at maybe XRP being Uniswap for institutions, the biggest money in the world outside the Bud Treasury family. Not only are we saying that, but we're also saying, oh yeah, the institutions, they're about to start yield farming, which, do you know what that means? The institutions are about to go through their degen phase. You understand that? The institutions are about to go through their degen phase. Okay, they are ramping up, getting liquidity. They're going to have their money everywhere, yield farming this, yield farming that, yield farming this. Man, because the yields are so easy, it's automatic money for these institutions. They're going to put it everywhere they can. So you've got to watch the RWAs, the institutional tools like real USD and XRPL that are going to be used for this stuff. We told you that the entire ISO 20022 thing, it was built for Ripple. We told you that. I told you that. It was built for Ripple. The world rail, the financial rails of the world run on XRP now. What now, snitches? What now? Oh, you're over there, you old fidget spinner coin. I put one of these fidgets right up in between. Okay. Okay. Three things. I want you guys to take away from this. And these are three things you're only going to get on this channel. People aren't talking about this stuff. These are three things that you're going to get from BitBoy here about why this is an important story. Why is this an important story? Ondo's institutional ties make this a serious Wall Street play. We are no longer, we are no longer an anonymous Twitter profile that says XRP in it. That is, say, here, all the banks are going to use the money, we promise. We're not, okay? This is a serious Wall Street play. These are not XRP riddlers pretending they know the future. This is happening right now in front of your eyes, and you see it. This is a serious Wall Street play. Ripple all up in the middle of it. Number two, another thing people aren't seeing, and man, I tell you, wait till I say this. This, what I'm about to say, I'm not going to go into it at all, but you need to understand this here, this is as big of an opportunity it's going to be for explosion in crypto as anything I think we've probably seen. This is going to, and I can't actually quantify the impact on the financial market, on the market cap. Okay, it's kind of like we talk about the trillions of dollars coming in through RWA. How does that impact the market cap of crypto? I can't tell you I know that for sure. Regulatory approvals, favorable things that are happening in regulatory and compliance circles and agencies in the United States, such as the treasurer being bullish, maybe, I don't know, call me crazy, okay? Those things could accelerate approvals, regulatory approvals. Cool. Which also could accelerate ETF RWA integration. You have not heard a person say that. I don't think. I don't think you've heard anyone else discuss this. This right here, RWAs with ETFs, it's a whole new way to invest in tokens. It's a whole new way to invest in tokens is what it will introduce. And I could get into how or why, but I'm not going to because we don't have time. But this is only an hour show or so. We've been on for an hour. We're still here.
You said or so.
Oh, or so.
Yeah. We're gonna take advantage of that or so today.
Or so what? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, 3 hidden insights. That's right, guys. I don't know why I just said that. That's what I put. 3 hidden insights. That was my title for this section. Number 3, the third hidden insight. No one else can see them but me. And this is crazy. This is another crazy one. This is insane. And we've already started talking about some of this stuff. The XRPL DeFi ecosystem can rival Ethereum's dominance in tokenized assets. What? That's right, guys. That's right. If you're not picking up here, what we're putting down here, what we're telling you is that potentially, you see all this market cap because of all these tokens and how everybody's tokenizing with Ethereum right now, all the institutions. And there's not really a competitor to Ethereum for this. XRP is. Uh-oh. What are you telling me right now? That's right. I'm telling you that XRP is now a direct competitor with Ethereum. I've always said these are two different coins. They do totally different things and blah, blah. Yeah, they do. They did at the time. But now the capabilities of the XRP-L and the legitimacy of it and the credibility it's been given by the end of the, it's a security, it's not a security, by the end of that, okay? And by the votes of confidence from all these major banks and these major players in finance and by Brad Garlinghouse himself and Donald Trump himself, okay? They're telling you that now, holy smokes, we're not talking about can it catch market cap. We're talking about can it get more on its chain? And you say, oh, have fun putting your Bored Ape on the chain over there, buddy. We're going to put Bank of America on this one. Oh, I see. You know what we need to get the Scientologists to put all their real estate on the XRPO. If you're a Scientologist, because they got tons of it. That's a big play. They got real estate everywhere. It's not a Ponzi scheme, they say. They say it's actually legitimate.
That's just where you give all your money up, right?
Scientology?
Yeah.
I think there's more to it than that. I think you have to get shocked or something too, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's something to it. I think there's something like that. I think
Tom Cruise is a famous Scientologist, right?
Yeah. Okay. Tommy. Oh man, look, I hate that guy. I hate that. Not Tom Cruise. There's another guy I hate that people know. He's the most vicious of all snakes that will be caught. But man, it's Tommy was a good meme we had for a while, man. It's Tommy. That was a good one. I missed that one. That was a good one. I don't know if that's before they were stealing from me or not. I can't remember. Okay. Is tokenized finance? This is what we want to know from you guys. Discussion point here. Is tokenized finance the bridge for XRP's long-term success? I want to know. What do you guys think? Okay. Okay, JC. I'm not going to say that. Okay. Were you going to say something?
No.
We're going to move on to newsfeed. Feed me news. Did we play the pre-recorded thing?
I believe, that was we just for the first time debuted it. It's kind of a little gothy.
It's a little screamo. Yeah, a little screamo. Well, it's been an emotional saga this artist has gone through. Man, I tell you what, he sure knows how to land a groupie. Okay. Just kidding. That was a joke. Okay. Newsfeed, guys. Pro crypto shift. Let's look at the first story here. Look, and I got to be real with you guys about something. The United States was in trouble, and our financial system was in big trouble. Okay, and me and Mr. X have been. Look, I'm not going to say me and Mr. X. Mr. X and I get to be his little messenger. It told you about a lot of this stuff, but the Treasury needed rescuing. And don't worry, because Scott B sent to save it. Let's go. Here we go. BitBoy Netflix stand-up series special coming to you guys in 2026. Scott Bessent confirmed as Treasury Secretary, expected to shape U.S. crypto policy. I don't know if I'm linked to him on LinkedIn or not. I'll check. He has been confirmed as the new U.S. Treasury Secretary. You know what he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like that guy, Rex Tillerson. Remember that guy, Rex Tillerson? He was like
He also looks like a
younger version of that guy, even though he's still pretty.
And the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire. Is it Charles Bronson? No.
Pierre. Is it Pierre Brosnan?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Is that his name? Pierre Brosnan? No, Pierce Brosnan.
Thank you.
There you go. Pierce Brosnan.
Kind of looks like him a little there.
A little bit, yeah. He kind of like a mix between that guy and the guy that does the voice of the dad on Rick and Morty, whatever that guy's name is. What's that guy's name? What's the dad's name on Rick and Morty? I watched the entire show. Cassie made me watch it. It was okay. I didn't hate it. It turned out it's such a Gen Z show, really. There's no form. All the characters are super flawed. Like you feel like there's like these greater kind of things going on, but they may just be in your head. I don't know. It's how they like their stuff these days. What's the top 4 coins in my portfolio? That's a great question. That's a great question. It's a great question. What are the top 4 coins in my portfolio? I would have to look around. I keep about equal amounts in most things. And you say, hey, I do a lot of reallocation. I do a lot of rebalancing. And so I'd have to actually go look. Right now, I told you guys, we have trimmed down. I don't mess with, look, I'm not picking a lot of coins. I don't even own every coin that I have in my top 10. Why have so many? I know the winners. Just pick them. So you guys know the ones look, XRP, win, notched. SWI, win, notched. Solana, win, notched. Dogecoin, believe it or not, win, notched. Okay, now we're moving into this next. It's time to start going for the next ones. Okay, well, Ondo, I would say that one's almost already a notch, but I still got a little bit of proof here, price wise for the token. Pith, by the end of this one, it's going to be notched. That render's going to be notched. Well, watch for these. These are the top coins. I'm telling you guys to pick. I'm not picking coins outside the ones I would tell you to pick. So there you go. Okay. Scott Besant, here we go. In my mind, a central bank digital currency is for countries who have no other investment alternatives. Guys, reinforcing that we should not pursue a CBDC because remember, the people are going to ask for it. The government's not going to get good. The government's going to answer our cry for CBDC is what's going to happen. But a lot of people do believe this is going to influence crypto regulation. We do know David Sachs' new crypto and AI czar. We do know that this is the presidential's working group on digital asset markets that Scott Besant is going to be helping to serve on. We have tariffs and economic policies. These are things that hopefully we're going to get smarter enough and we're not going to use these anymore as weapons because it's not working. Supporters of Scott Besant's nomination, it's probably not how you say it, but I'm not trying to say your name wrong, Scott. Sorry, I think Besant makes just such a great dad joke. And I quit making dad jokes, so that's why Mal, we cut that part of that show. Thanks. B-Rad is a supporter. That's right, guys. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He is a supporter of this nomination. Filecoin still? Yeah, Cameron, I like Filecoin still. I still say watch Filecoin. I think, look, I think that one thing that has really, really been driven home to me by looking at the charts a little bit more over the last couple of days is that it does seem to me that we are on the cusp of an altcoin season like we haven't seen before. Like we haven't seen before, I think. And I think it's going to be led by a lot of hallmark, solid projects. And it's going to be a mix of the newer ones like SWI that are just taking over. But overall, I think that is potential what we're going to see. And I think coins like Filecoin are going to have big, big runs. And I think it sets up maybe another altcoin season for lower caps, maybe a little bit later. But when you look at these charts, they all look like the XRP chart from 2017 to last year, late last year. Down, 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 down. If it just gets above, and that's so many coins. They're not all going to move, though. That's why you have to be selective. You have to listen to people like us that are telling you unbiased. I don't even own all the coins in my top 10. Unbiased completely what I believe the top movers are going to be. And remember that top 10 does not include my coins from, or top, whatever it was, 9. Does not include my ones from last year. SWI, XRP, Solana. Didn't put those in there. They're still great picks and they're still having massive runs. Okay, I want to finish the story. Scott Besant's background in hedge funds and blockchain-friendly policies signals the potential shift we're talking about here. Ties to Wall Street could drive institutional-friendly policy changes. And the markets, here's what the markets are watching for. You want to see how can this change the price? The markets are waiting to see, is he going to get in and start changing stuff? He's going to get in and start repealing stuff. And we do know that SEC bulletin's already gone. I don't know who got rid of that, but that's good news. Okay. So anyways, basically XRP and other institutional coins here, it's important there is a tie-in here with Brad Garlinghouse. They're really in a good spot with this guy because people do feel like that a lot of these policies that he's making or going to be repealing are going to be beneficial for the entire ecosystem. And they're not going to benefit anybody more than the president and his money. Come on. And actually, that's a weird thing to say because we never really had a president that had money like this, that was like doing business like this, right? George Bush had a lot of money, but all that stuff was hidden. He was making money with oil companies and all that, you know?
It's really interesting. That's been a private thing to some extent until,
because they're not supposed to be rich when they go in, because they're all, you know, they're usually from a family of politicians or they're a lifelong politician, and they always are, you know, pretty much. So I don't know about that Jimmy Carter. How much money did Jimmy Carter have? He might have had 74 peanuts. It was just a peanut farmer. Oh, Jimmy Carter. From my home state of Georgia. Only Georgia president we ever had in the United States of America, a lot of people will tell you, Jimmy Carter was one of the most fun presidents to watch after he got out of office. And that's probably the only thing they'll tell you about Jimmy Carter during his time as president, because it was really bad. There's a lot of my grandparents, they loved it. Jimmy Carter made them Republicans. Seriously, my grandparents were Democrats. Jimmy Carter made them Republicans. He was so bad. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of banking partnerships here that we could look at, like banking partnerships with cryptocurrencies might expand under somebody like a bullish treasurer like Scott Bessent. And this could also, here's something big to watch that you guys have to think about here with this stablecoin regulation. And man, there's just not enough time for me to really dive into this XRP stuff like I really, really, really want to, because you have to understand. Do you not see what's happening here? We're going to actually cover this. We're going to cover this this story here about the XRPL. I am going to go into the numbers real quick with it, but before I jump there, I want to point out this here. You've got Crypto.com here delisting Tether, okay, and amid MiCA compliance push. Now, what is MiCA? MiCA is basically Europe's crypto laws. Okay, it's digital asset laws in Europe that mostly have to do with cryptocurrency. They were going to try to put like decentralized finance and stuff in there. They couldn't figure it out. So they just made a bunch of rules on crypto and digital assets. And these are the new standards. And every country in the European Union has to follow these. So these laws for digital assets have to actually supersede or overpower their local laws on digital assets. That's why a lot of these countries over in Europe didn't do any digital asset laws really in the last few years. They're waiting on this compliance. Well, now we've got Crypto.com going to delist Tether in Europe amid MiCA compliance push. Not really why it's happening, guys. Not really why it's happening. Okay. We've told you this many times. Hey, who else told you this? What other person told you that USDC versus USDT was going to factor into the global Cold War, I guess you would say, in a sense? I don't want to call it Cold War because that actually puts it very negative. And I think we can have a very friendly relationship. I don't think it's got to be negative like this. I think people should look, borders aren't what they used to be. Borders aren't, and I'm not saying anything about our actual borders in a country. I just mean, guys, everything's borderless now, right? You can talk with anybody in around the world at any time. Okay. So it's not, we see what happens in these countries, and we see, if you're watching the mainstream news here, you see nothing but propaganda. But if you're watching on the BBC, you kind of see what's really going on in the world. And, you know, I think that it's just very interesting to watch stablecoins play a role in this between these two entities, between BRICS and the United States. And when I say United States, it's the West, between BRICS and the West. We told you USDC was chosen by the U.S. We also told you in the West, and we also told you that Tether has been chosen by BRICS. The thing is, we've seen Chinese exchanges delisting USDC, and we've seen American ones and related ones delisting Tether, because Crypto.com, it's not, I think it's an American guy who started, I think Chris Marslick is American. I could be wrong. But it's got a lot of American ties, obviously. We've got Crypto.com Arena over here, and they're opening a lot of new stuff up. And the thing is that this is opening up such an interesting opportunity for XRP and real USD. I think there's a chance real USD is the stablecoin. I think it may at some point bridge over all of them and be the number one stablecoin. Yeah, I think so. Because I think about other versions of stablecoins like USDY, which is a stablecoin based on kind of the T-bills and the annualized returns of the T-bills. It is a corporate or an institutional stablecoin. It has bankruptcy remoteness, which means it can't go bankrupt. It's actually like based on dollars in the government. It's not based on Tether reserves. You see? but they're going to be limited in supply on that, I assume, and things. I don't know. There's going to be some limits to that. Whereas XRPL is now going to be offering real USD as the actual kind of crypto blockchain, based, stable, based on reserves, kind of $1-to-1 stablecoin. And I think there's a chance, who knows, could Ripple buy Circle at some point? Could Ripple buy Circle at some point? The Circle people don't have a lot of power. They were hanging with the old folks. They're on their way out of power, the Circle folks. So I don't know. Very interesting. We'll see. I think that's right. Maybe Mr. X will tell me I'm wrong on that. I think that's, if I remember correctly, I think that's right. Ondo ETF looks more likely than what, XRP one? No, the Ondo ETF for RWA integration, very potential for sure. RWA ETF integration. But it's just interesting to me to see these stories. The regulations are, right now, the European Union is setting up kind of what they expect probably the United States to follow. The United States, this is our sandbox. The MiCA is the sandbox for what they're going to do over here, probably, in a sense. So it is very interesting to watch and see this Tether USDC battle and now real USD all up in the middle of this crypto.com delisting Tether. It's just all happening. It's all playing out. We told you years ago this was going to happen. I told you years and years ago we're going to see these big stablecoin wars, and here they are. It's here now. Amazing. And why is it happening now? Because now all the institutional money and liquidity is here for them to all go grab up. And you have to understand that what things like USDY do from Ondo, it allows the institutions to be able to go and get liquidity for things much, much, much quicker. That's really why they will want to buy in and get a lot of these, because their T-bills are short-term returns. They can get it, move it here, move it to blockchain over here, and boom, they do the transaction. And I think we're going to see a lot of similar stuff over here in America with these compliance things. So very fascinating. I don't know. It's so crazy how all the stories today are kind of connected almost, except for this one. But I did want to actually go over the numbers. Hold on. I want to go back to the XRP story before I move on to the last story that is not connected to any of this. Well, actually it is. It's global geopolitical war in a sense. And it's war games. It is war games we're seeing at the highest level. So we'll talk about that story in just a minute, which would be the stuff about DeepSeek and China. And we're going to talk about why that's so big. But it is related in a sense, I guess you could say. But the XRPL's ledger or the XRPL's DEX hit $400 million in volume. Volume surged, signaling growing on-chain DeFi activity for XRP. So there you go, guys. It is the on-chain activity is moving up. There's a lot of volume being fueled by these ETF rumors. Increased trading suggests institutional players are watching the XRP ETF narrative. And so can you imagine if there is an XRP ETF that gets approved? Now, I want... Are people talking about, and maybe my XRP people can let me know, are people talking about like the XRP ETF getting approved right now? Like it would get it, like the ones that are out, like the one from Canary Capital and Bitwise or whoever the other one, 21, whatever that one is. Because guys, those aren't getting approved. I want to be very clear. Those are not getting approved. No. They may get approved after BlackRock or Vanguard, who will potentially go bullish at some point, and that'll be a narrative. They're already bullish. They have more BlackRock than BlackRock does. Duh. Okay, look at it. So Vanguard or BlackRock or Grayscale. Maybe that could be the big. Maybe that's what Mr. X is talking about with the big push from Digital Currency Group / Grayscale back into relevance. Maybe that could be it. That could be very significant. They were punished. They were punished by the people that dole out the punishments because they went after the SEC. They went after the SEC and they got that approval, but they were punished. They were punished for all that stuff they did. And I don't know, maybe they were told to go do that actually because of some other stuff that some of those guys did at some point. Digital Currency Group, not a great entity, Grayscale, not somebody I would have wanted to be associated with. But now, like a lot of these groups we're looking at the top, things are changing. So could get a little more bullish on that. All right, last story here.
Let me ask you a question real quick before we move on. So Polymarket, 82% says yes, that there is the chance for a Ripple ETF approved in 2025. How likely do you think that is?
Oh, I think it's likely we get approval, but we just haven't seen the application yet that's going to get approved.
Okay.
We've not seen the application that will get approved first. It doesn't mean these other ones won't get approved in a general sweep like we've seen before, but it does mean Grayscale, BlackRock, or Vanguard, or I mean, look, there are a few I don't know. Did JP Morgan have an arm that does that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's Fidelity. Nah, they've already done some stuff. I think it's got to be one of those three, really, almost. So because of that, it's not out yet. And the ones that have been filed, like, look, if we get a filing from another major institution, I might look and say, okay, well, of course I'm going to go to Mr. X, but outside of that, I say, could this one? I don't know. We do know if any of those three file, it's done. It's getting approved. And all of the ones will get approved along with it, but it'll get approved first and have some room to run first, most likely. So, okay, here we go. Moving on to the last story, the war story. Wait. Oh, and then we do drill bits. That's right. We have not even done drill bits yet, man. Where are we at? An hour and a half almost?
Yeah, an hour 20.
Okay, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Hey, look, the show about an hour and a half to an hour 45 is always the best way. Today feels like an old show. Feels like an old show. Back when I used to do all my own crypto stuff. Smash the like button, guys, if you like Deep Seek. If you like it deep and you like to seek deep, then you're going to love Deep Seek. That's right, guys. It's a new model. Not that kind of model. It's an AI from China. And we want to talk about why this is significant. So let's check out how U.S. giants are responding. And I do want to preempt this by saying that these are not the two most major AI companies at all. We do have OpenAI, and well, actually, we do have Meta. You do have Meta is responding here. So Meta is actually one of the major companies in AI, I believe. But Google and OpenAI are not. Google could at some point become down the road after some conversations and some talking tos, but it's XAI. How do you say it? It's emphasized on the X. XAI. 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 I don't know how to say it right. I need a robot to tell me how to say it right. But anyways, you got XAI. You have Meta that's becoming a major one right in front of people's eyes, and they're starting to notice. You're probably starting to see the word llama showing up here, a little bit there, a little bit there. I was on a commercial the other day. I saw it starting to get that name out there a little bit more. And then you also have Jeff Bezos and what he's doing with Amazon that you don't even know about. You don't even know what he's doing with AI and super apps. Is going to rival a Wish.com version of Elon's is what it's going to be of XAI's, of their gigantic super app they're going to have. Jeff Bezos is going to have a second, the next competitive one. It's going to be 6 months behind. It's going to be great. It's going to be, I guess, for people who don't like Elon. I don't know. But that's what they're working on. And then you have these other companies. You have Meta that's getting into the fray. We told you I've got a video coming on Zuckerberg is in with us now. I would say Zuckerberg is my buddy now at this point. I haven't talked to him yet, but we probably will talk at some point. And I would say that me and Zuck, we are best buds now. I take back all my robot barbecue, cooking out, grilling meats comments. I take them all out, Zuck. You have become a real boy, and I am really proud of you. Look, and I'm in all seriousness. I got to the point where I thought that guy was a robot, and I did not think that he was capable of this full turn, and it's a real, authentic full turn. You're not going to see backtrack. Everybody's waiting. It's not coming. The closest thing you'll get to a backtrack is him still saying, but I still think maybe I was right about the vaccines. Maybe we were doing the right thing. I think. I don't maybe. Like, he still clings on to that. But I think overall, like, he is really, and I tell you, one of the things that got him on this track is that MMA. Something about fighting that really, when I'm not fighting and I'm not training, I'm not the same person. There's something about it that for a man that is, and some ladies too are into it, that really makes you focus and hone in on what's important. And I'm not going to compare it to going out and getting, fighting in the Coliseum with gladiators with spiked chains, but it's pretty close. It's closer than playing with Barbies. Okay. All right. Okay. So here we are. Some comments were made here. Let's see what some of these people said. Strategic infrastructure investments. Meta is talking about some of the investments from AI firms. Let's see. Perplexity and Grok have already integrated. So Perplexity and Grok have already integrated DeepSeek's technology because, duh, Mr. X and China are real tight. If you can't tell, he's real tight with those folks. He's real tight with everybody. And Grok is basically X.com's, right? It's XAI's. I assume that's the same Grok. It's not spelled the same, but it's got to be the same thing, right? Can you double check that? It's got to be the same thing. It probably is like one of their models, unless I'm wrong about this. So before I say anything else, let me see. It is spelled differently, but I assume it's got to be related.
No, I don't think it's the same.
Oh, it has nothing to do with it. Okay, well.
I don't believe so.
Well, then I tell you.
Yeah, Grok is its own company.
Well, yeah, but what does it do? It's probably it has to be the underlying engine that goes under. It has to be related, right? Unless, it might not,
Grok
because
is a LPU, a language processing unit, it looks like.
Yeah. Huh. I bet it's used in Grok, I would think. It's like Meta and, Meta Llama. They got these different models, like Llama's their underlying thing, I think. Anyways, we're doing nerd stuff. Let's get out of this.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this. Sorry, guys. This is too nerdy. This is too nerdy for y'all. Way too nerdy. Here's what you need to know. The AI space race, the AI space race between the United States and China, is kicking off. And it is an intense battle. And what DeepSeek really brought about is this company was able to spend $5 million and get the same result as OpenAI did with billions and billions and billions of dollars. And this has opened it up to make other entities realize, oh my gosh, wow, we could play in this sandbox. We have that much money. And the development for AI is about to pick up even more intensely than it was before. So DeepSeek's capabilities could disrupt AI-driven trading and blockchain automation. And here's the thing, guys. Here's what people have not really thought about yet, and something that I've been thinking about a lot is the role of AI in trading. And I am not talking about trading bots. Okay, I'm not talking about a bot that goes and trades for you, because that's what everybody goes to. I'm talking about other ways. What are some other ways that AI can be used? And I don't want to give you the answer to this question, because if you have the answer to this question, I don't know, you might be able to do some of the things I do, and I don't like that, so I'm not going to give it to you. Okay, guys, it's time to go to drill bits. Morning, cadets. That's right, guys. You guys are recruits, actually. When you're not in the Bid Boy Bootcamp, you're just a recruit. Sorry, guys. Welcome, recruits, to Drill Bits. This is where every single day we give you a crypto drill. That's right. We give you a learning experience. And we're actually going to do some drills at some point, not today. But a learning experience in crypto that you can only get from BitBoy and the BitBoy Bootcamp. Today, we're going to be talking about the role of blockchain in RWAs as we continue our march into our 2-week special of RWAs. And we've got a killer graphic for you today. I absolutely love this graphic. It really, really shows what we're going to be talking about today, actually. The role of blockchain in RWAs. What is blockchain doing here? Why are we, what is the technology? Like, how's it being used in this big world of RWAs? And it's really a big ask, because it's doing a lot of things. But at the core of it, the most basic thing that blockchain does for RWAs is tokenization. It's the process of creating a digital representation of a real world asset on blockchain. It's taking something from somewhere else. It's not of this ecosystem. And we got to bring it into this ecosystem. So we have to create a digital representation of it to bring it to this ecosystem. And that is what blockchain allows people to do. And why? It's the transparency of blockchain and the automation of the chain and the way it basically automatically sends the transactions. I mean, look, it's a little more complex than that. It's not automatic. You've got miners and people that send transactions and validators and all kinds of things. But it's automated in a sense that when you hit the button, you don't see anything and it gets sent. right? That's how fast all this automation works. And so what you have to understand is it's the transparency of blockchain that makes it so appealing to all of these financial institutions and actually governments as well, because the governments will be able to see everything that you did. And, you know, they can always see everything you did on blockchain. They can always see everything you did on blockchain. So, all right. So what is in the middle? What is at the core of all this, right? Is the core, what is the process? You got to have a process that goes through. Well, of course, we have smart contracts, right? Smart contracts are at the core of this. So you can think your grandpa Vitalik and your granddaddy Ethereum, that they created this smart contract for you to use, which allows companies or institutions or financial entities to be able to automate those processes, to make them smart. Why do we call them smart contracts? Well, they're self-executing contracts with rules and terms directly written into the code, meaning everything you need is right there in that little box. Everything you need to do a transaction, execute a contract is right there. It's plug and play. You go get the smart contract, you link this, you link that. It happens, it executes, and everything, or it doesn't execute, it fails to execute for a time deadline, and everything just happens automatically. And, you know, that's really what you guys have to understand about the role of blockchain in RWA, is that blockchain is what enables this whole freaking thing. Blockchain was always the secret sauce to linking the world financial system. And now today, we're looking at how it's being used to bring the world into collective finance. And it's just really, really, really interesting. It's been such a wild ride watching it from the beginning to where we are today. And it was all enabled with smart contracts from Vitalik from 2015. Well, I guess 2015 he wrote the contract, 2014 he wrote the contract. I can't remember which one. I guess 2015 is when they had the ICO, launched in 2016, I believe. But the point is that the smart contracts, the blockchain, this is what enables everything. We can talk about this. How many times have you heard me or someone give you this example? Okay, imagine you got a pizza, but you want to divide it an infinite number of times so everybody can get a slice. Imagine you got an Eiffel Tower and everybody wants to own some of the Eiffel Tower. Well, you know, you sit around and you think about that. You say, what? Why is this a big thing now? Why were people not doing it before? Why couldn't you? Why couldn't you do that? Well, we certainly take apartment buildings and we divide them up into, you know, owners per room or whatever it might be. Why could you not do that? Because we didn't have blockchain. We didn't have the transparent ledger, and we didn't have the ability to fractionalize things down to the lowest Satoshi or whatever the equivalent might be on whatever chain you're on, to the lowest fraction. What's the smallest amount that we can divide this ownership up into? And you may say, well, why? It don't matter to the people at the top. They got their 30%. They don't. Oh God, man. I tell you what, this is a disaster. I spilled my coffee everywhere. Thank you, Zen Ledger, for the coffee cup. It was not the coffee cup's fault. It was my fault. And I ruined my final take card. So guys, the show is going to have to stop right now. I don't know the show anymore. I'm just kidding. The point is that blockchain is what enables that fractionalizing, that cutting, that being able to trim down. The people that are at the top, they don't care. Thank you, Ashley. They don't care who owns the last 5%. They own their 30%. They don't care. And these kinds of opportunities have been closed off from individuals to be, because imagine if we were to go back to the 1800s, back to New Amsterdam. Let's go back to New Amsterdam. I think back in maybe the 1890s. I don't know when it was. Do you know what New Amsterdam is?
I have no idea.
It's New York City.
Okay.
New York City is New Amsterdam. It was called New Amsterdam back in the 1800s. And you always hear people say this. Michael Saylor says this. Imagine if you had been able to own real estate on Times Square or Wall Street or Broadway or whatever road in New York, Times Square. Imagine if you could have owned real estate in Manhattan in the 1800s. Imagine how much that would be worth today. Right, but today there's way more people. So how can you get opportunities like that? Well, there are things that exist today that will be like New York one day. Who knows what they are? You can't predict it really. You can look at, population charts and see the way some things are going. But now everyone digitally has that opportunity to be able to have the same kinds of investment opportunities and choices that the people at the top have. You see, the people at the top, they're going to be in their sandbox over on the XRPL, and the rest of the people are going to be doing our regular DeFi stuff wherever we do it. Sui, probably. Solana, Ethereum, a little bit. Mostly Sui, I think, is where it's going to be at some point. But okay, so that's the big thing here, guys. That's the really big thing about the blockchain. It enables us to do this fractionalizing and the cutting down of things. And so we look at the importance. What is the importance of blockchain? Automation and security. It provides not only is the ledger secure, or not only is it open, it's transparent, people can see it, it's secure. These ledgers are secure. There's not double spend attacks on these these products and chains that they're using. They're making sure that everything is backed up and over collateralized, or maybe not over collateralized, but collateralized in the right way in their reserve pools with oracles, make sure everything's the right way, because everything's got to be so secure, because that's what blockchain provides. It brings that security layer that people didn't have before, with the private keys and the seed phrases as well, and the way that those operate, and then with a lot of the way that the changes operate in terms of interoperability. Some advantages of blockchain and RWA. Well, you got the decentralized ledger. It's a trustless system. That's one reason they love it. You don't have to trust the other party. In fact, we're using blockchain because we don't trust each other. That's the way it should be, because I'm capable of anything and so are you. That's really the way that each of these mindsets has to be in a world of financial transactions. Global access. Blockchain is the internet for finance. That's the best way to think about it. Blockchain links the world of finance in the way that the internet linked the world in terms of media and messaging and social media and connectivity and things like that. And then also some real world applications for this. We got company Realty, tokenizing real estate properties. Is that a real company? Realty?
Yeah.
Okay. Company like Realty, tokenizing real estate properties. I said real world application examples. That's why I want to make sure it was real. Smart contracts automate the distribution of rental income. Here, this is another big thing, right? We talk about the fractionalizing. We say, okay, well, what if you could have back in the day, cut a building on, in Manhattan, down into 10 slices, and you sold 10 pieces of that real estate to someone. You say, okay, this automation, cool. It makes it easy. It makes it, or it makes it where people can get into this investment. But the really interesting thing here is the distribution of the rental income is automated, because that's the main reason why this stuff has not been done before. Somebody's got to be there to make sure everybody gets paid and do all the stuff. And who wants to be responsible for that? Right? Oh man, I'd rather just not even divide this than have to have somebody else and hire somebody to run all this stuff and do all this. It's not worth it. Right? Now that is not an issue at all. That barrier is completely removed. So these are some of the things about RWA, some of the amazing things that they bring forth, thanks to blockchain. So let's see. Was there anything else I want to mention here? Man, I hit it all, really. That's a Realty buying companies or buying properties in Detroit. Okay, guys. Tomorrow on Drill Bits, we're going to be talking about tokenizing physical assets. We're going to be actually talking about the step-by-step process on how we're going to do that. And we're going to talk to you about who all the players, who they all are, how they're involved in that world of RWAs and tokenizing physical assets. And, the fact is, guys, blockchain, the features of it, transparency, decentralization, right? That one's a little played out maybe. But interoperability, some of the problems we have, but the ability for change to operate, like these things matter. These things all matter. And you can look at all these different chains and say, I was talking to Cassie the other day, and I said, the house we're in, we moved and we love it. It's a great house. We were fantastic. We love it. It's not perfect. Nothing. No house is perfect. And the thing is about perfection with something like a home is the reason why it's impossible to be perfect is because sometimes you want things that are counter to each other. It's like, it's almost impossible to have an oversized basement and then have this many rooms of this as well, right? Like you can't have it all. There's give and take whenever you go into a house. Like the house we have is amazing. The bathroom cabinets is the one thing. It was the bathroom cabinets. Like I wish there was a little bit more. Like our bathroom's smaller than it was in the previous house we were in. Or not the bathroom, but the sink area. And it's just like, it's a give and take. And that's the word of blockchain. Okay. There's not one blockchain that's perfect. They may run perfect and it may be perfectly designed to do what it does. But every time, if you're going to sacrifice, if you go with one that's super, super fast, you're going to sacrifice somewhere else. There's sacrifice all across the board in investments and in technology and in blockchain, everywhere. Nothing's a cohesive thing of perfection, object of perfection. And understanding RWAs is a little bit of the way that you're going to understand this niche, this wing, this area of crypto, and understanding each of these individual parts of it is how you're going to understand how each of these take place and why they're important. But just remember, each one of these is playing a role. You're not going to find one that's going to be perfect and solve everything. You're always going to have some give and take. And that's a great thing because we teach diversification. You need to be diversified in your investments anyways. So even if there was one that was absolutely perfect, we'd be like, but you got to back that up. right. You know how it is. So guys, today on the show, we did a lot of things. We talked about Ripple and XRP and how I've been right for all these years. And we'll continue to do all of those things every single day on this channel. We also talked about the price of Bitcoin. We looked at the Ethereum chart, maybe a little bit longer. Who knows? We're going to look at the U.S. digital asset reserve becoming a global model. This is a question. This is not actually what we looked at today. That's right. We did not look at that. Sorry. We looked at the XRP partnership with Ondo and what this means for XRP being Wall Street's secret weapon. Whew, maybe you want to Wall Street bet that one. I know I would. I wouldn't short it. But the question is, for a lot of this is going to be how much will all of this stuff that we're doing and we're looking at affect prices in crypto, right? Because that's what most of you care about the most right now, which makes sense. We're in a bull run. You want me to be honest with you? That's what you should care about the most. You should care right now about maximizing the opportunity that you have. And when we open this BitBoy Bootcamp here in about 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, you guys are going to see it's going to have everything you need to make that happen and be able to maximize this last little bit of this bull run. I say last little bit because it's soon, at some point, guys, I mean, when XRP gets to $5 or $6, like, okay, even if we get to 20, that's just a 2.5x from there, right? Like, okay. So this is right now over this next 3 months is when you really got to make sure you're positioned for the rest of the year. And that may include a dip in there at some point after maybe a pump. So I do expect we're going to move back up some point soon and then have a big downward leg probably over the spring or so. But we'll have to see how it works out. Maybe I know, maybe I don't. But what I do know is that I love the Bit Squad and I appreciate you guys. Good boy out. Be blessed.